Annoyingly, option 1 got the most votes. And that's annoying because it means I'm going to have to extend all of these to figure it out. Also, in case you haven't noticed, I have a shader on. So let me know if you prefer the look with the shader or without the shader. Personally, I chose to add a shader just because I think sometimes the video can look a little bit dark and dull. Which one did I say was option 1? Was option 1 this longest one here, or was option 1 that bit? It was the biggest one. Well, that's just annoying because I actually hadn't figured it all out properly. I'm going to have to do so much terraforming. I can't... Or... Oh, I've just come up with a whole new... I asked for opinions because I was going to obviously rebuild this whole thing, but the other option is I don't, like, create my own one and I just build it, like, following this design already. Like, the design of the world that's already generated. Because I could quite easily just extend this shore out, which wouldn't take too much time. Not as much time as having to fill all of this in. And then do houses along like this bottom bit. I'd have to do some bits of terraforming, like where that bit goes up, the grassy area. I could just extend that out so that there's more houses on this section. And extend that around, but like more or less following the terrain. You can see there where it gets flatter, I could have that be like the height for the next bit up rather than having to like recreate this whole thing. Why is building so... My brain does not agree with the process of building. Kind of just have to start placing blocks. If I think too much about what, like where I want the blocks to go and everything, it just nothing happens. Actually, that doesn't look too bad. Okay, now I actually need to turn this into a floor. What material though is the question. I think to start off with, I might just layer it with loads of that. Oh, I need some more inspiration. Tempted to do something else currently. Basically, I'm now tempted to turn this into like a little wall and almost match the height of that. So if I make this wall kind of... Yeah, just like a little wall. I might have to make it higher actually. 3 more blocks high but 2 tall? Yeah, that works. And I might actually want to chuck some stairs in as well. What would it look like if I added a wall in? Yeah, there you go. Of course, something else that I liked. Add a bit more. Yes! And then that's just going to go all the way around. And then I have buildings on top instead of matching with the water. Now I just have to remember to add in walls and stuff every so often. I believe these walls are now at a point where I like them. Leo, I don't know if I want to add moss stuff. We'll just leave it as it is. Now, I need to plan it, I suppose. I need to, yeah, I think it's just chucking a floor across this thing. Do I just do like a floor of dirt? Let me find an area that I can just dig up all the dirt. Here seems about fine. I want an inventory full of this brown stuff. Right, inventory full of the brown and green stuff. So now I'm just gonna... it's gonna be so long. Let's just fill all of this in with dirt, shall we? I'm kind of hoping that when it's full, I can plan where I want the buildings to be, build the buildings, and then afterwards I can remove the dirt to create the paths and not have to worry about losing, like, you know, but the important blocks. But we will find out. First things first, this bloody floor needs to be filled in with dirt. There's probably an easier way of doing this, but I'm not smart, so we're doing it this way. Okay, that outline is all filled in. Now I've got to decide if I actually want the lower city to be that big, but I think I'm going to start with the outline of the buildings first. As you can see, I started here. I'm probably not going to use grass, Otherwise I'll confuse myself. I would like to use wool, but I do not have a wool farm. I might use stone, because why not? So if I do the outline of just the buildings first, and then I will like build up. Now, as this is the lower city, I want it to feel like condensed, so the buildings aren't going to be that big. If I have literally just like a 2-block gap, then if the roof's here and a roof's here, it will be connecting roofs. I'm trying to do it in like blocks of 5. So like that. So that's 1 block of 5. You got the 5 buildings. And I'm basically just going to keep on doing this until everything is full. I think all of these buildings are just going to be simple rectangles. So let me just do a bunch of outlines and we will come back, build them up a little bit. And I'll probably just build them up in dirt to begin with on the corners so that I can get the roofs down. And then I'll fill in the walls after, because I don't want them all to look the exact same, but I want different color palettes. And the other thing I was going to do, I was going to grab some more of this. And I'm actually going to bring these walls down rather than just having it actually like ramp up smoothly. The only reason why I think using cracked here and cobblestone here works still is because there have been wars and such. Like if you think about a little bit of a lore for this, they have had fights and wars and shiz. So obviously things aren't going to be perfect. Okay, that wall is now in. At some point there will be like stair steps or slabs or something onto that section. But for now, I'm leaving that as it is. And now I'm just going to go around all of these buildings and get their heights. Because I don't want them all to be the same height. So for example, this one, 5 high. And this one's 6 high. And so on. Until all of these have got some sort of height to them. I just need to now do the roofs, and I think I'm just going to wing it. Yeah, because the only thing I'm thinking is if they're all like that, they look a bit too polished, whereas that looks a bit more run down. But I'm also going to see what it looks like if I try deep slate. Do I have any cobble deep slate stairs? Yeah, well, that was too spotty. At the moment, I'm actually preferring the tough and cobblestone, but what if I threw in some polished deep slate? Okay, a polished deep slate does make it look better. Yeah, that looks alright as well, but I think the stairs have to be indented one. I've got all the cobblestone stuff. I said that really weirdly. I just need to get a load of tough stuff. I want 2 shulker boxes full that replicate this, but in tough. Where do I find tough? It's just underground. So if I was to go, see, that's tough, but okay, yeah, this is not the best spot to do it, is it really? Let's be honest. Do I still have a bunch of torches? I think I'm just going to spam torches around. Seeing as in the future, I'm going to be building an underground base down here. Not just any base, I'm going to be building another kingdom, but it's going to be an underground one. I might as well get started on the lighting it up. Future me will thank me for this. Okay, cool. Right, there's no mobs here. Okay, cool. Well, it looks like I'm alright. And now I'm just going to mine as much tough as possible. I now have all of the materials, I hope anyway, that I'm going to need for these roofs. So let's just get on and build some roofs, shall we? Once that was done, I decided to go underneath the water and finish building all of the walls up. Now this time around, I tried to make it more of a purposeful gradient. So I started with just fully mossy cobble, and then it transitions up to the cracked stone brick and everything like that, and the other blocks. And I think it just makes it look more purposeful and realistic, as opposed to above sea level where all I did was spam the 3 different blocks in a random order. Now, the issue is I kind of want to do this gradient above sea level now, but that would mean tearing down all of the walls and starting again, which I cannot be bothered to do. So instead, let's move on to actually designing the buildings for my lower city. I am in my creative building world. I've decided to mess around with some palette designs. So these three are from like actual YouTube videos that I found. And they're very simple designs. The only thing that really changes is the roof. The rest of the layout is the same. It's just cobblestone with normal stone brick and then andesite stairs for the windows, stuff like that. So I figured if I can just basically build the same building for each of them, but mess around with this block palette that I've got down here. So I've got what different types of houses have I got? I've got 5x5, I've got 5x7 that way, I've got 5x7 that way, and I've got 7x7. Those are all the options for the lower city. They don't get bigger until I move up to the upper city. So I think those are the 5 options I've got. You can't really do stone brick, tough brick. I think that looks weird. Actually, you know what? Fucking let me try it anyway. So those are the different mixes. I can have slightly flatter roofs like this one, slightly higher roofs like this one. It's whether or not I want them all to have the exact same like trim. Do I want them all to have that? Because to be fair, actually that roof trim looks way too bright compared to the color palette. My brain doesn't brain. I'm gonna put roofs on all of these because they're right next to each other. See how it looks when they all have the same layout on the roof. So these are all the roofs that I've just kind of thrown on. The difficulty is I can't actually tell if it would look okay until I've done the rest of the build, because like those two side by side look all right, but they have got the detail. Okay, so what do they look like? Do they look okay, or are they way too similar? Oh, I don't know how to decide this. I've never made a kingdom before. I don't know if they should have more variety, or I'm not actually a fan of the brick, but I think I'm going to keep messing about with similar designs to this, but I'm going to try throwing in some dark oak in some as well as try and build some with logs so it's not all just stone on the outside. I have come to a decision. I am going to layer the front with all of this style, and then just behind, probably not that one actually, but these ones, and then just behind that I'll then have more wooden themed, and then behind that and the upper city I'll then have stuff that includes deep slate and be more this style. And these ones are going to be bigger and slightly different shapes and slightly taller and stuff as well. So they'll be more like that one, essentially. I've got shulker boxes full of all the materials that I might need. I'm going to need some more polystandesite at some point, but the majority of the walls, at least, are out of these lot. So I should be all right for a while. So the first thing I need to do is remove all of these roofs. I apologize, but it's probably going to be another time lapse. I really am sorry for all the time lapses, but honestly, for this stuff, it's just easier because what's the alternative? I talk whilst I'm doing all this. I've got nothing to say, for starters, and it would also take me longer to build if I did that, and I don't have a lot of time to do this as it is anyway. So I tend to just throw on Netflix and just get all these builds done. Like, they're all the same. It's all the same pattern, similar sort of wall design, basically the exact same exterior for the detail. So I just feel like time lapses make more sense, and honestly, with this sort of video, you're gonna get loads of time lapses. If I'm building the same thing over and over again, more or less, it's going to be time lapse form. And then I'm also going to apologize for this video being 3 months late. The only excuse I have is I have a life. I've had my own business for the last year now, and it's starting to grow quite a bit. So I'm getting a lot busier during the days, during the week. I also am now engaged and I have a stepson, so that takes up obviously some of my time as well. And we have a very awkward sort of living arrangement. So I live with them, but I also live at my house. And my house is where the computer is. So the only time I'm actually at my house normally is Tuesday evening for a couple hours, and then Friday and Saturday evening for a few hours. So I only get about 10, 11 hours a week to be able to even play Minecraft and record anything. And 10, 11 hours sounds like quite a long time, but when each of these builds takes ages to build on its own, a couple hours a night is not a lot. Like, it might be that on Tuesday I managed to tear down all of the dirt stuff and then build up the cobblestone and stone brick walls, but then I've got to go to bed. And then Friday I managed to put all the roofs in and I start doing some of the exterior detailing for half of the buildings, and then I got to go to bed. Sometimes I can't even play. There might be other reasons why I can't play, or I've gone away on holiday or something like that. So that's why it's a few months late, but I've got it out for you, so be grateful for that. And just keep that in mind. From this point forward, if I haven't uploaded for a while, I'm not gone. If I decide to ever leave YouTube, I will make a video about it or put a post out so you all know. So if I haven't posted for a while, I am making stuff. It's just taking a long time. And I appreciate all of your guys' patience. And finally, that is the front row done. Now, to try and not make it all look exactly the same, because all of these houses have basically the exact same layout when it comes to slab and spruce and the walls and everything, so it's quite repetitive. The thing that makes it look a little bit different are obviously the roofs. So to make it a little bit different for the rest of the lower city, I'm going to do them more in dark oak and spruce. Still similar wall design to the ones behind me, but there's going to be more wood put in. What is going on under here? Oh, I've built okay. I've got a little mob spawner going on under there. I do actually have a plan for underneath this, which is part of the reason why I left it the way it is and hollow, but also because I couldn't be bothered to actually fill it all in. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to make them like this. These properties, or I might end up doing some that are indented on some of them. Just make them a little bit more grand rather than basic, because in my opinion, like, those look a little bit more grand, and I'd rather live in that than in that, if that makes sense. So that means I have to go get a lot of dark wood, because I don't actually think I have a lot of dark oak stuffs. I have zero, zilch, nada, nothing. Also, my tree farm doesn't really work. I don't know if it's an update or if it's me making it wrong, but I stand here and it hurts me, which it shouldn't do, because otherwise I can't use an auto click or anything, or I will die. So for all of the spruce, I've actually just been hand growing them and hand mining them. Actually, speaking of which, do I have dark oak saplings? Do I just grow my own? Yeah. I'm also going to need a lot more of those, to be fair, as well. Luckily, bone meal is not an issue. I would literally just do this. I would grow one 2x2 one, and then do that, and do the same again, and keep going up, and then I would manually mine it. Okay, that's all of the saplings, and now I just have to do the fun part and demolish all of these. Well, that got me a decent amount, but I think I'm going to do some more, because it's a lot of logs, as well as a lot of just dark oak stuff, as well as spruce stuff, and I had to keep on going back and forth and doing this whilst I was building the other houses, and these ones are going to be bigger. There's not as many of them, I don't think, so I'd rather just get as much as possible now than have to keep coming back and forth, to be honest with you. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm hoping this is enough stuff. So I now need to actually build some of the materials. So I need some of those, some of those. A lot of the other stuff is still, like the fences and everything is still spruce. So I actually don't need all of that stuff, but I do need a lot of, well, just normal logs in general, and also trapdoors, and trapdoors are stupidly expensive. Okay, right, let's get these materials sorted for the actual builds. So I'm going to do the same as what I've did on the other ones, where I just do the outside of stuff first, and I'll come back for the decorations. But the next stage is to take all of what I built down on this backside. So it's going to be another time lapse. I do apologize for all of the time lapses, but it's because it's just the same thing. I'm just removing the old buildings, building up the walls. Like, it's just all the same stuff, and it just wouldn't be entertaining if I tried to not do time lapses. And if I tried doing it like quick cuts with just the breaking of the blocks, that would just take me forever to edit. And this video is already late. As of recording this currently, I haven't uploaded for almost like 40 days. So there's that too. I officially now have the back houses in. I think it does help actually that there's a mixture of the dark logs and then also the lighter color ones at the front. And then if you can picture that, this sort of scenario, this sort of block palette for these larger houses in the upper city on this level and then also that level, I think it will come together. I've left spaces in between to put bits and bobs like fountains or whatever. I don't know. I will figure that out. I'll probably have a whole episode just to do those. But for now, there's one final thing I wanted to do this episode, and that is build a nether portal here. At the moment, my nether portal connection is up this bit, but I need an actual usable one for myself that also fits into this kingdom. So I figured this little entryway, I wasn't sure initially if all of these houses were going to be on sea level and then connect, but I think I like the idea of having a nether portal being in there, because even though I said this is Throne of Glass inspired, it looks nothing like it. It looks nothing like Rifthold, let's be honest. The only thing that is going to be the glass castle, but even still, I've got my inspiration to build this from the fantasy world, and they have portals of magic and shiznay in the fantasy world, so I'm going to build like a little transformed nether portal in there that's kind of spilling out into the overworld a little bit. Even down there, I'll have it spilling out. And it will also work in two ways, because it will be a portal, obviously, to the nether in this bit. But then, after this kingdom's done, I am going to be transforming this. I'm going to be transforming the cave system that I have been in. I'm not sure how much of it, because it's quite a large area, but I'm definitely going to be transforming this bit. And depending on how insane I feel, I will also transform through here, like past where the nether portal is going to lead into. Because this is a massive cave system. How far does it actually go? I haven't actually been all the way over this way. Okay. Yeah, I won't be transforming all of it. I will not be transforming all of it. That is just insanity if I did that. So that ain't happening. At some point, I'm going to have to figure out what to do with all these materials, because I don't really want them to just be normal stone. And it looks kind of weird, just blocked off via black at the top. But I'll figure that out at some point. Actually, you guys, what do you suggest with that? Do I like continue this pattern up there? Or like continue with the wood and the stone brick and the cobblestone like I've got here, and bring it up, and then also bring the deep slate down? Let's transform the nether portal, shall we? First things first, I think materials are needed, so let's just go grab a bunch of nether stuff. I'm talking not mycelium, the netherrack dirt things that grow with the trees, both the red and the blue, the warped and the crimson. That's it, I got it right. As well as the vines and all that sort of stuff. And I think I'm also going to use probably some basalt and blackstone and such as well. I don't know, I'll figure it out. I just need to get a bunch of netherrack stuff. Okay, I've got a bunch of stuff in here now. The only thing I don't have is enough obsidian, because my plan is to do a large portal here. I might light that area up actually, because they're going to be a pain in my butt otherwise. Right, yeah, so essentially I want to... Why did you still spawn? Okay, I might actually just put it here. I want to do like a big portal that's like in the water, so it doesn't actually have to be too far down. Like if it was to go... Okay, no, it's got to be one below that. Oh, that's annoying. I can't... don't know how wide to make it though. Center of it needs to be about here. So that's where the portal is going to be, and it essentially needs to be like bleeding out with these materials. What I'm tempted to do is keep the shape of this more or less, and just plaster stuff in there, either by replacing the blocks or just putting the blocks over the top. Right, so I'm trying to decide how much of it is underwater and how much isn't. I kind of want up here not to be underwater, because then I can set this stuff on fire. And the other thing I'm thinking of is I do want magma on places, but at the same time I don't want it to really annoy me. So is there a way I can use magma but stop the bubbles? I do want to incorporate blue. I might almost go half and half. What if I did more red this side? That looks weird squared off. Then I also added some blue. I'm doing that. Is that too much, or is that okay? It might be okay. You know, I'm gonna keep on winging it. So surprisingly, I actually think I'm happy with this. Like, it looks messy, but also not. Like, I mean, it's because it's supposed to be messy. It's like the portal's there and it's feeding into the world. I actually don't mind it. I can get behind it. I just don't know how to do this section or this section, really. Because if I keep doing that sort of pattern all the way up, I feel like it's just going to look too, I don't know, too man-made. I mean, I could try and do it and just follow all of this. So this can go straight down, but then I just sort of follow all of this outline. I mean, I'll move on to that next. I'll get all of these sort of normal blocks, but I also need to get all of the obsidian to make the portal, and then I'm going to make it come out this side as well. So for now, I think I'm going to finish the outside here, and it's going to be a very boring process of just getting all of those blocks and building up walls, and then throw in walls and stairs on the corner bits to try and make it look a little bit less flat. That's my only issue with this. Is it too flat? But also, is it fine to be flat because it's man-made? Like, I'm trying to think of the law. Like, realistically, if they were to have built these walls, it would be flat. So many decisions to be made, and I'm a very indecisive person when it comes to this sort of stuff. Let's just see how far this gets me. I feel like I'm going to have to do a lot more material collecting, but for now, we will remove this bit, and so it's not straight down, I might just sort of go around any blocks that are below it, so it's not straight. I think that is it. Annoyingly, I'm not entirely sure about the mud, but I put the mud up there, so I thought I'd put the mud down here. I think it does kind of work. Can I trim these? Because these are going to go too long, aren't they? Okay, cool. Do these as well. Anyway, now that's out of the way. I think I am happy enough with this. The random details of the bars and the irons and some lighting. I've got the magma, got some shroom lighting. Now, I need more obsidian. Now, I could do an obsidian farm, but I think that's a waste of my time. Praise be thy Lord, show me lava. Aha. And time for the fun part. Stack should do. Now, let us get the portal sorted. It doesn't actually have to be that tall, but it does need to be tall enough that I don't see it. So, to be honest, actually, that should be fine. Yeah, that'll be fine. Does this light without me clearing the water? No. Okay. Now, there's that. Tempted to actually not do this side yet. Oh, no, I kind of have to because I'm going to see it. Yeah, I'm going to have to do it now. That's just going to annoy me otherwise. Right, let's get this video finished finally. And with all of that now done, so I've got the cave in here. I will do more of it when I actually do the underground kingdom. But for now, we've got all of in here done. The portal's leaking through. I even did in these gaps in here because that would just annoy me if they weren't done. That is officially the portal transformed, as well as my entire lower city. I'm going to assume that that was lightning. Now that is officially my entire lower city finished. I've got all the houses at the front, like the more basic ones. I've got slightly more advanced and cooler looking houses just behind those. I've got space to put fountains or bushes or whatever. And I have a fully transformed Nether Portal now, which I didn't have any access to Nether before, but now I do. In the next episode, I will be making a storage system because I just can't work out of my shulker monster anymore. Subscribe.